to rugby now, where the All Blacks are in Wellington preparing for their second test against France tomorrow. It's the skull fracture, though, suffered by Remy Grosso in the first test at Eden Park last week that's reignited debate again today after All Blacks Sam Cane and Ofa Tu'ungafasi escaped punishment. Our rugby reporter Joe Porter was at the captain's run this afternoon and told me the controversy is not going away.
Yeah, well, that's right. The French have called the tactics illegal, they've called the All Blacks dirty, and they've called them cheats. And of course today, Remy Grosso, the winger who was in fact suffered the double facial fractures and was only just cleared to fly back to France a few days ago, has had a crack again today through the French newspapers, claiming the All Blacks used illegal tactics, that the two players, Sam Cane and Ofa Tu'ungafasi, should have been sent off, yellow carded and red carded at least. He said had they been French players wearing blue, doing the same thing, they would have been red carded or sin binned at least. So he's therefore again making a reference to the unfairness that the French believe they've suffered at the hands of the referees so far on this tour.
Now, in terms of the lineup for tomorrow's game, Joe, we're likely to see the same roster for the All Blacks, but there will be changes for the French. Is that right?
That's right, an unchanged All Blacks lineup as the coach Steve Hansen seeks to maintain that winning momentum they built over the second half of last week's impressive performance at Eden Park. The French, on the other hand, not happy with their first up effort. They've got a lot of their top guys back from the top 14 French competition this week, so they'll be bringing a lot of fresh excitement and energy to the squad, and it will be a better French team we see this weekend. A lot of fire in the bellies of the French too. We know what happened to Remy Grosso last week. They won't say it publicly, but they're fuming and they really want to get one back over the All Blacks. They are not happy about it at all. So it should be a very tense affair here at Westpac Stadium. I still think the All Blacks will be a little too strong for this French side, and I think in the last 20 minutes we might see the All Blacks pull away once again and maybe put another 20 points on the French this weekend.
So you're saying it could be a closer game, but the All Blacks could still pull away at the end. You've been pretty good on this in the past, I remember last year, in predicting the scores. Will you have a bit of a wager this time?
Yeah, well, look, the French did really well for the first 50 minutes last week. Of course, they were leading 11-8 and with 50 minutes gone through the game. It wasn't until the last half of the second half the All Blacks really pulled away. This week, the All Blacks will come out firing. Steve Hansen wants a much better performance from the first whistle, so I think you'll see a better first half performance from the All Blacks, which will then set them up to again pull away in that second half. And I think the All Blacks will put at least 20 points on the French this weekend. I'm picking a scoreline of around 35-10, 35-15.
That's our rugby reporter, Joe Porter.